lot of people around the world are concerned about Donald Trump potentially using his office to enrich himself, his businesses, his family. And you can imagine that Trump is probably gonna be a little bit cautious about the appearance of that sort of corruption. Now, there's been a lot of instances of the actual corruption already, and we're gonna break down some of them. But his extended family apparently is not as worried about drawing attention to their business operations and how they might be influenced by Donald Trump becoming president. Eric Trump recently told the New York Times, "The stars have all aligned. I think our brand is the hottest it's ever been." And he doesn't seem to know why that might be or why we might interpret that to be the case if it is the case.
I'm sure it is the case. He's the president of the United States. I'm sure the brand is super hot. But I don't remember us getting mad when Malia Obama said stuff like this.
That's true, that's true. Now, there's definitely a golfing angle to this, and it's not just because that's what Trump is spending a lot of his time on. That's how they're gonna be cashing in quite a bit. So to catch you up, and we've been covering this, Trump has returned to his home at Mar-a-Lago for 4 out of the last 5 weekends in office to play golf at least 2 of his nearby courses. In total, he's played golf at least 7 times since he was inaugurated, each time on his family's own courses. And what I found interesting there was they broke down past presidents, and for some reason, presidents always golf a lot. But Obama, who golfed a ton, like 300 rounds or something like that over his presidency, the vast majority of those were at a specific, separate government sort of golf course. Not at a resort that you own, on a golf course that you own, that then people can think, well, if I pay the $200,000 a year, maybe I'll see the president if he ever shows up on the weekend, perhaps like every weekend. And this sort of thing where he keeps going back to his resort, he keeps going back to his golf courses to drum up interest in it. Actually, it led to this right here, if we could bring this up. The golfer in chief, which Eric Trump says thank you for. That seems like a bit of a criticism from my point of view. Shouldn't he be something else in chief at this point rather than just the guy who golfs a lot?
Yeah, but it's on the cover of Golf Digest, right?
That's true.
Yeah, what I'm really disappointed about is that Trump's doing all this golfing and he's still a shitty golfer. You know, he really should be a better golfer at this point.
Doesn't he claim, I'm not trying to make fun, doesn't he claim that he's like the best? That he's like, oh,
he said, I was the best golfer of the rich people at one point. Right. He used to hang out with these rich people. He's the best.
I read a story where somebody playing golf with Trump noticed that when he couldn't quite believe it, so he saw him do it a couple of times. When his ball went in the rough, he just pick it up and throw it in the fairway. Because he's a cheater.
The metaphor for his life. No, the metaphor for his life would be if his father had picked up and thrown it back under the green for him.
This is about 20 years ago. This is when he was with Marla Maples. I'm in New York. This is like mid-90s, and I'm having soccer practice. The team I was on was a real mix. There were British guys, African guys, South American guys,
Let's
Middle
not
Eastern
pretend
guys.
everyone's not totally surprised that you were once on a soccer team.
Yeah. But anyways, so we're on a soccer team. We're having practice on the East River Park, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's baseball games going on, softball games, soccer, other stuff, and all of a sudden, 2 cops come up to us and they're like, "Hey guys, sorry, but you're gonna have to move off the field." And we're like, "Why? What's going on?" And then we see it's Trump and his like office softball team, and he was terrible. So I got to see him play. He was awful. Besides having his own like 2 cops just working for him,
right?
People
Clearing off the field for him.
They're not even allowed to do. I don't think so. But Marla Maples was really good. She was like fielding grounders, throwing people out. Trump literally hits just a weak grounder and just sort of jiggles his way to first, gets thrown out. His hair's flopping around. It was sad. He's not a good athlete. I've seen it in person.
Nice.
You know me, I'm an athlete. He's not a good athlete.
Yeah, but to be fair, then his dad came out and said, round the bases, that was all right.
3 presidents, Herbert Hoover, Harry Truman, Jimmy Carter, have not played golf since Big Bill Taft. William Howard Taft was the first president to play, and then all of them have played except those 3.
So, so 2 other things on this story. One is that they said they wouldn't do any foreign deals, and they're doing foreign deals left and right. Eric Trump bragging about our bread is super hot. I don't know why, but I think something happened, but I can't quite tell. So they just launched a new hotel in Vancouver, Canada. You said you weren't going to do foreign deals.
They suspended all the deals.
But they literally said that, and then they just did one. So Do they not realize Canada is not ours? Well, that's a possibility.
You covered it. We mentioned it on Old School, but I mean the 38 patents. I'm
actually going to turn to that right now because that's a lot of deals all in one. And it's not just us that's concerned about these deals. The huge package of trademarks that have been granted to Trump, suspiciously close to him becoming an influential political leader. Bernie Sanders tweeted this. After Trump took office, a whole slew of his trademarks were quickly approved in China. Coincidence? I doubt it. And then takes it a step farther in this next tweet saying, receiving preferential treatment for business interests from the Chinese government clearly violates the Constitution's emoluments clause. And would appear to. And I mean, look, we've talked about the taxpayer-funded trips and security for his sons to go and schmooze in the UAE and in South America to set up deals. We've talked about having Ivanka, who's supposed to be the political kid. She can't do so Eric and Donald, they do the business, Ivanka does the politics, but they have them mixing up in meetings with diplomats that obviously have consequences for their businesses. I mean, we talked about this yesterday, I believe, on the show. It's difficult to track all of these because there are so many things that individually would be the scandal of a presidency, but they come at you 1, 2, or 3 times a week. And how do you keep up with all of it? But we know that along the way, regardless of whether we track them or we don't track them, his family is greatly benefiting from the fact that the father has become the president. And in a lot of cases, it is going to be to the detriment of American interests and American citizens.
And finally, I'm going to go back to golf one more time. 7 times in 50 days. You see, this is his 50th day in office. Like, I don't play pitch and putt anymore because I'm too busy working. He's the president of the United States. There's another story out that says he gets up in the morning, starts watching cable news. He go at lunch, cable news. Throughout the day, they're trying to limit his cable news because they're trying to get him to concentrate on actual work. Once it's past 6 o'clock at night, back to cable news. Like he watches TV all day long, goes down to Florida every weekend, has played golf 7 times. You know how long it takes to play a whole round of golf? Like almost a whole day. I don't know. I'm not a good golfer. Maybe it takes me longer. Okay.
You know, at a certain point, if you pass a threshold of spending all of your time in Florida playing golf and watching TV, I think Donald Trump is technically retired. He's not actually our president anymore.
You know, Brad Jaffe of NBC News compiled, I think probably rather easily in early February, 14 tweets, 13 tweets this is from Donald Trump criticizing Barack Obama for playing golf.
The hypocrisy knows no bounds.
And Trump specifically saying, when I become president, this is during the campaign, I'm going to be so busy, I won't have time to play golf.
Also, and not criticizing him, viciously undermining him for playing golf, suggesting that it was something nefarious. And look, again, 13 times, and he did that. I suspect it took him a couple hours in the morning to gather all those tweets. And as we now know, Barack Obama comparatively actually didn't leave the White House and do anything other than work much. He was one of the harder working presidents we've ever had.
The golf is obviously, it's funny, especially because of the hypocrisy. Obviously, in terms of the corruption, it's a very small part of this. There are far bigger deals. I mean, obviously, we're worried about the $500 billion oil deal. But really fast, one bit of schadenfreude that I got in doing my research on this, they own a lot of golf courses. It's something like 20, 21, 22. And Golf Digest, it was noted in one of the articles that in their top 100 golf courses, not a single one of them shows up on the list, despite massive influxes of money. That just makes me happy.
Barack Obama played on average just under, he played a lot of golf. He played on average 40 rounds of golf a year.
Wow, that's like almost one a week. Yeah. No, these presidents playing golf, I don't care who it is. It drives me nuts, man. You're the president, there's so much work to do. I would think I gotta
go to an intelligence briefing.
Yeah, I gotta read one more policy paper. What else can we fix? They're like, screw. I mean, remember they have families too. Like you gotta take care of the family.
That's a good point.
And then you take a whole day playing golf and you're the president. So no, if I should be at least half as vicious to Trump as he was to Obama on the same golfing issue. Trump, stop being a goddamn bum, okay? You're a bum who only cares about himself. You just go out there and play golf. You enrich yourself by going to your golf courses. I know it's marketing for you, and I know you don't care about the job. You don't care about the job. And every Republican who ever criticized Obama for golfing, now that Trump golfs more than Obama, you're cursing him, right? Right now, right? I want you to write a tweet about it today, right now, okay? Go, oh, goddamn Trump playing golf all the time, even worse than Obama. That son of a bitch. You're writing that right now, right? Conservatives, write it down right now and put it all over Facebook. Trump is a son of a bitch for playing golf all the time and not caring about us. Go ahead.
To the Trump regime's defense, I just want to say, I don't think, now I'm not sure, but I don't think there's been any Steve Bannon golf course sightings. So.
He, on the other hand, is working too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Dwight Eisenhower played over 800 rounds. So Obama played 306 rounds. So just under 40 a year.
It doesn't look that interesting to play 800.
Dwight Eisenhower played 800 rounds. 800. Woodrow Wilson, who spent 6 months of his presidency in Paris, while president of the United States in 1918, 1919, right? Lived there, didn't return. Woodrow Wilson played 1,200 rounds of golf while in office.
So maybe golf is one of this country's biggest problems. Maybe that's really the core. We need to stop just protesting in state capitals. We need to go to golf courses.
Golf courses, shut them down.
Yeah.
Beach on the green.
Yeah, no. I'm going to do one last analogy here. So the golf is like the hobby of old dudes with a lot of money, apparently, right? So imagine if they had the hobby of younger guys, video games, and they're like, no. I got to go take the day off. I got to go play video games for 6 hours. Could you imagine if presidents did that? People would be like, what kind of monster is in the White House? Instead of being president, he's playing video games all day.
If Trump
Are you
played
kidding
Overwatch
me?
for 4 hours a day, I'd vote for him.
Now, and I'm going to.
What if it was a golf video game?
Yeah, that's right. Tiger Woods on Sega. Yeah.
Sega.
The corporate media has multi-million-dollar anchors. We have you guys. Go to tytnetwork.com/go, and you can help hire investigative reporters that'll do real journalism.